let's try that and see if that works. Just go ahead and let me have the paperwork on Berno or whatever motions we're hearing. Well, she tries to, well, let me hang on to Rich because Carly's trying to reach Miss Rich, but just in case.
She says, the message she got says waiting for host to let her in the waiting room. So I told her to just log off and try again. So maybe she pushed in the wrong number and she's trying to get in someone else's meeting.
Yeah, she may have because there's nobody in the waiting room.
Okay, so she's gonna try again. Hopefully it'll work.
In the meantime, let's go ahead and call cause number B20-514, the state of Texas versus Patrick Berno Jr. For purposes of, it looks like a motion to modify bond conditions. What say the parties?
State's ready.
The defense is ready.
All right, Mr. Winsky, the ball's in your court.
All right. Your Honor, I'm going to call Amber Berno to the stand.
Berno, are you with us? You're gonna have to unmute, please. There we go. Can you hear me now?
Good morning.
Okay. Ms. Berno, please raise your right hand. In the matter before the court, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Can you please give your full name to court reporter?
Amber Marie Berno.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Okay, Ms. Berno. Can you tell me how you know the defendant
He's my husband.
and how long have y'all been married?
We've been married for 9 years, together for 11.
Okay. And where do you currently live?
719 Mountain Drive, Kerrville, Texas.
Does anyone live with you?
Yes, it's myself, my husband, and our used to be our 4 children. Unfortunately, we're down 2 at the moment.
Why do only 2 of your daughters live with you?
In order to satisfy the bond conditions, my 2 older children cannot reside at this home.
Okay. Where are they currently residing?
They're staying with my aunt.
And how far away is that from you?
It's approximately 30 minutes.
Okay. Now which 2 girls don't live with you?
It's my 2 older children, Kaylee and Aubrey.
And are they the complainants in this case?
Yes.
Where do the girls go to school?
They are homeschooled.
And who's their primary teacher?
Me.
Are you able to effectively homeschool them currently?
I'm only effectively able to homeschool the 2 children that are here with me. I'm not able to homeschool the 2 older children or even know if they're doing their proper schoolwork because they aren't here.
Okay. Do you think them being separated from you and your husband has any effects on their learning?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you work?
I do. I work from home. I own my own Etsy shop.
Okay. Are you home often?
I am home about 99% of the time.
Do you go out?
Once or twice a month, maybe. I'm kind of a homebody.
Okay. Do you know when this incident occurred?
The incident occurred September 3rd, I believe.
Okay. And in order to comply with the bond conditions, when did the girls leave the home?
They left January 13th, the same day that my husband found out that he had the warrants out for his arrest.
Okay. So between September 3rd and January 13th, where were the girls?
They were staying here at our home.
Between September 3rd and January 13th, was there any actions by your husband that concerned you?
No,
Between September 3rd and January 13th, did you speak with anyone from Child Protective Services?
yes.
Do you recall who you spoke with?
Her name was Alicia Moore.
Did she do an investigation?
She did.
What were the results of that investigation?
They ended up closing the case.
Okay. I'm going to show you what has been attached in my motion as Exhibit A. Give me 1 second. Your Honor, screen sharing's off currently. Is there any way I could get that turned on?
Did you forward Exhibit A to the DA's office?
I have.
Then
It was-
just reference it and they can pull it up.
Okay. Ms. Berno, you received a letter from the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Is that right?
Yes.
Do you recall the last line of that letter?
It says, because there are no current concerns related to the safety of the children in your home, your case will be closed with no further action.
And what date was that letter sent?
December of last year on the 9th.
So on September 3rd was the date of the incident, and you received this letter in December 9th after you completed, after CPS did an investigation.
Yes.
From September 9th to today, has CPS reopened the investigation?
No.
At any point during CPS's investigation, did they ask the children to leave the home?
No.
Currently, your two younger daughters are still in the home.
Yes. Is the girls not being in the home hard on their two younger sisters? Yes.
How so?
They ask about them all the time. This is the longest amount of time that they've ever been separated.
Is it hard on your on you?
It is. It's extremely hard. This is the longest time that they've been separated from their mother.
Is it hard on your husband?
Yes, he asks about them every day.
And he's not able to even talk to them currently. Is that correct?
Correct. He can't have any contact with them.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
Thank you. Excuse me, Ms. Berno. Your husband is not Kaylee or Aubrey's father, correct?
Not biologically, no.
Right. And with regard to the incident, well, let me just, I'm going to back up just a little bit. Virginia, who has the children right now, you mentioned is your aunt, but she also helped raise you, right?
For an amount of time, yes.
No, and I understand. And I guess what I'm saying is it's not like that she's an aunt that is not a part of your life, really. I mean, she's been a part of your life. It's been a part of the children's life, and the children have stayed with her and her husband before, correct?
For weekends, yes.
Okay. Now, on the incident that is the subject of this case, I believe you stated to police that you had been drinking that day.
I had been, yes.
Right. And I mean, can we say that you've got a drinking problem?
No, I don't have a drinking problem. I drank too much that night, yes.
Okay. And an incident arose with your husband where you said he went into a rage, correct?
He got a little aggravated because I was testing his buttons.
Okay. Well, to the extent that a little bit or whatever, he ended up, as you told the police, attacking you and you had to fight him off, correct?
No. Whatever I said that night to the police was probably exaggerated because, like I said, I had been drinking. So when you drink, you kind of say things that sometimes are not accurate.
Maybe. nonetheless, you called the police.
No, I did not.
I mean, Virginia called the police because of what you told Virginia, right?
I called her and asked her to come pick me up because my husband and I had gotten into an argument. Yes,
Okay.
I did not ask her to call the police.
Okay, well, she called the police because she saw the state you were in, because you were very upset and crying, and that the children reported having been injured by
The-
Mr. Mdma.
The children did not even talk to her, so she didn't even know that at the time when she called the police.
Okay, so how did it come about that the police learned that the children had been injured?
The only thing that I can think of is that when I told the police what happened, the kids heard me and then they follow mama. So they said something similar and I wasn't there. That the police would not let me be there with them when they were talking. So I don't know exactly what they said.
Right. So you're aware, though, that the children did talk to the police.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then the decision was made to leave the children with Virginia and her husband.
I'm sorry. Can you ask that again?
The decision was made that night to leave the children with Virginia and her husband.
No, I decided to stay the night over there myself.
Okay.
There was no decision made by anybody but me.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You made the decision.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in this particular case, CPS got involved, and we've heard that they've concluded the matter. How many times has CPS been involved with your family?
This incident would have been the second.
Okay. And how long prior to this incident, when was around the time the other CPS case occurred?
About 2 years ago?
Okay. And did that involve allegations involving Mr. Mdma?
Yes.
Okay. And were those allegations that as far as physical abuse?
Disciplinary action.
Okay. Which would be disciplinary action because it was too physical?
He disciplined my daughter, and due to some underlying medical conditions, I had to take her to the hospital.
Okay, well, you're being kind of vague. Is it because you don't want to concede that it involved physical problems?
Well, obviously discipline is physical.
Well, it can be verbal, can it?
No, not in my mind.
Oh, really? So like a stern, you shouldn't do that and you need to go to your room wouldn't be discipline?
Not on my kids, that doesn't work.
All right, I pass the witness, Judge.
Mr. Winsky?
You stated that the two complaining witnesses, Kaylee and Aubrey, are not the biological children of your husband, correct?
Yes.
How long have they known Patrick?
My oldest daughter will be 15 this year. He's been their father since she was 3, barely 3 years old. So pretty much their whole life.
Now, you stated on the night of the incident you had been drinking. How often do you drink?
I would say I have a glass or 2 of wine a week.
Okay.
That day was different because we were barbecuing and, pool
y'all
day.
had some family time on that day?
Correct.
Who do you think started the incident on September 3rd?
I don't know that I could place the blame on either party. It could be my fault. It could be Patrick's fault. I think it's 50-50.
How much do you think you had to drink on September 3rd?
I probably had 3 glasses of wine at that point.
Okay. When you drink, do you sometimes get emotional?
Sometimes, yes, I would say sometimes.
Were you emotional that day?
I was just a little perturbed because I'm a mom and I wanted my kids to be able to come inside and not have to go around the whole house.
Okay. And we talked briefly about discipline. do you know, to the best of your knowledge, is corporal punishment in order to discipline your children illegal?
I don't know how to answer that question. I'm not aware.
Can you physically punish your children?
Yes.
CPS did an investigation into that case also. Is that right? In the first case?
Yes,
And did they close that case out?
they did.
Did they remove the children from the home at any point during that case?
No.
I have no further questions, Your Honor. Pass the witness.
A couple more questions, Judge. Thank you. Do you recall telling police that you had consumed 2 tall boy beers before the altercation and not wine?
No.
Okay. Do you recall showing the police the bruises on your hands that you said
Yes,
caused from fighting him off?
I remember some slight bruising. Yes.
Okay. And this altercation that occurred between you and your husband with the bruises on your hand and fighting him off, the kids were present and witnessed that, correct?
No, they didn't witness the whole thing. They came in at the end to try to break us up.
Exactly. Pass the witness, Judge.
When they came in at the end to try and break y'all up, what can you kind of describe that scene quickly?
My husband was in front of me. We were facing each other, and my kids were behind me. So I didn't really see anything with the kids. I could just feel them behind me, kind of pulling on my shoulders.
So they were trying to pull you off of your husband?
Or get me out of the laundry room, pull me off, whichever you want to call it.
I'll pass the witness.
Do you recall telling Deputy Monroe that you thought your husband would describe the incident as that you were a raging drunk bitch from hell?
That sounds like something I would say when I'm drunk.
Okay. And do you recall that you told the officer that Aubrey was complaining about her ribs hurting and that Kaylee was complaining about a bruise and that you would allow him to speak to them?
No, I don't remember that.
Pass the witness.
No further questions.
Additional witnesses?
No, sir.
State?
I have no witnesses to call, Your Honor.
Motion to modify bond conditions can be denied. Do you have anything else, Mr. Winsky?
No, sir.
All right, we'll see y'all at the next pretrial. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms.
Maybe
Rich, are you with us? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Mr. Winsky. I think I talked over you.
Oh, I was just wondering if we could be excused.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Rich, can you hear us?
Chelsea?
Yes, Your Honor, I can hear you.
Okay. Do you have any way to turn on your audio, please? I mean, your video?
My video. I'm fixing my hair right now for getting ready for work. Yes, I can do that. I'm looking a little scary, but okay. Sorry.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I'm getting ready for work. Okay.
Can you do us a favor and stop long enough for us to get through these pleas, or would you rather do them some other time?
No, we can do this. Can I just put my hair in a ponytail?
Chelsea, just
Okay,
sit
I'm
down
sorry.
and listen.
Okay.
Thank you.
I didn't know I was going to be on video. Everything. Sorry. Jeez. Okay. Okay. I'm ready.
Court will call cause number B2090 and B2629, the state of Texas versus Chelsea Rich. For purposes of agreed pleas, what say the parties?
It's ready.
Defense is ready.
First document we need to go through in each case, counsel, is the 3914 Discovery, Disclosure, and Compliance Form, each of which purports to have each of your signatures. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
To the best of your knowledge, has the
Yes,
state
sir.
received all discovery from law enforcement and forwarded the same to the defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
To the best of your knowledge, have you received all discovery in both cases?
Yes, sir.
Any objection to going through the admonishments together?
No,
No
sir.
objection.
Ms. Rich, I'm going to show you one document, but in fact, there's two. There's one in each case. Each of them's titled Defendants Plea of Guilty, Waivers, and Admonishments. Do you have a chance to go through both of these documents with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand both of these documents?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand in each case you have a right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand in each case you have a right for your attorney to cross-examine the state's witnesses and to call your own witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand in each case you have a right to appeal?
I'm sorry, the phone was breaking up.
Do you understand in each case you have a right to appeal?
Chelsea, you're on mute.
Okay, I did. Okay, the phone just kicked me out of the whole room for a minute. I didn't hear the last one.
What's the last thing you heard?
Just the about understanding the paperwork that I signed with my attorney.
Okay, you didn't hear any of the other questions?
No, I
You-
didn't. I didn't hear the last.
Understand that you have a right to a trial by jury?
Oh, yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right for your attorney to cross-examine the state's witnesses and to call your own witnesses?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand you have a right to appeal?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand you're waiving all three of those rights this morning?
Yes, sir.
In addition to that, do you understand that you have a right to remain silent? Nobody can require you to testify against yourself, but you can in fact waive that right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Page 3 of each of these documents purports to have your signature in two different locations. Do you recall signing these two documents in two spots on page 3 of each document?
Yes, sir.
Your second signature on each one appears below a paragraph entitled Judicial Confessions and Stipulations. You understand that by signing that paragraph, it's just like you stood up here before the court, raised your hand and said, I did what the state's accused me of doing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Attached to the back of each one of these documents is a copy of the grand jury indictment. Each of the grand jury indictments purports to have your signature. Do you recall signing both grand jury indictments?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Are you asking the court to accept as true and correct both grand jury indictments?
Yes, sir.
You feel like your client understands her rights, waivers, and admonishments in both cases?
I do, Judge.
Ms. Rich, in cause number B20-90, You've been charged with possession of a controlled substance in penalty group 2, Mdma, less than 1 gram. This is a state jail felony with a range of punishment of 6 months to 2 years confinement and up to a $10,000 fine. In this case, pursuant to section 1244A, the state's elected to pursue it with a range of punishment of that of a class A misdemeanor, which is up to a year in the county jail and a $4,000 fine. Do you understand this charge and this range of punishment?
Yes, sir.
And how do you plead?
Guilty.
Cause number B20-629, you've been charged with possession of a controlled substance in penalty group 2, THC less than 1 gram. This is a state jail felony, which just like the last one carries a range of punishment of 6 months to 2 years confinement and up to a $10,000 fine. The state is elected to pursue it with a range of punishment under section 1244A as that of a class A misdemeanor with a range of punishment of up to a year in the county jail and a $4,000 fine. Do you understand this charge and this range of punishment?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
And how do you plead to this case?
Guilty.
In both cases, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
In both cases, are you pleading guilty because you are guilty and for no other reason?
Yes, sir.
And are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
Do you feel like your client's competent and capable of assisting you in preparation for trial in both cases?
I do, Judge.
Are there plea agreements in both cases?
Yes, Your Honor. In B2090, under Penal Code 1244A, state jail punishment reduced to Class A misdemeanor punishment. Sentenced her to 4 days confinement in Kerr County Jail, time served with a $1,500 fine. In B20-629, under Penal Code 1244A, state jail punishment reduced to Class A misdemeanor punishment, 1 day confinement, Kerr County Jail, time served, $1,500 fine.
Is that your understanding on each of the plea agreements, Ms. Cannell?
Yes, sir.
Is that your understanding on each of the plea agreements, Ms. Wrench?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that plea agreements are agreements between you and the state? They're not binding on the court, but if the court did not accept either one of your plea agreements, you would have the opportunity to withdraw your pleas of guilty, enter pleas of not guilty, and proceed to trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you asking the court to follow both plea agreements?
Yes, Your Honor.
B20-90 and B20-629, the court will find evidence beyond a reasonable doubt to enter a finding of guilt. Pursuant to your plea agreement under section 1244A, will order you confined in the county jail in 629 for 1 day and in 90 for 4 days. We'll give you credit for 1 day and then 4 days, so it's time served in each case. Each case carries a fine in the amount of $1,500. Each case has a $355 court cost, and you have reimbursement fees that cover both cases in the amount of $765. Do you have any questions on the judgments?
No, Your Honor.
Can you contact the district clerk to work out a payment plan to pay off your cost?
Yes, sir.
You have any questions at all?
No, sir, I don't.
All right. Good luck to you, Ms. Rich.
Thank
Hi,
you so
Chelsea.
much. Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. Is it okay if I get off the line now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Have a great day.
May I be excused as well, Judge?
You may. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Carly. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Harold, we saved the best for last.
Good.
The court will call cause number 20-710B. Looks like ex parte Stewart, is it Skolos or how do you pronounce that?
Gloss.
Skloss?
Gloss. Yes, Your Honor.
Ex parte Stewart Skloss for purposes of a petition for expunction. What say the parties?
State's ready.
We're ready, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Danford, ball's in your court.
Well, after reviewing the file, it believed all the parties were served and no one filed an answer. Mr. Skloss had 2 death by checks case that were dismissed back in 1997. I talked to the district attorney's office. I don't think they have any opposition to my petition, Your Honor.
That's correct.
All right, the court will take judicial notice of the court's file and grant the expunction as requested.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
And another note, Mr. Skloss is building a place in Fredericksburg called the Lukenbach Road Distillery.
Really?
It's a heck of a place. It's got a hotel and a distillery, and Billy Givens is building a recording studio and all kinds of stuff.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, he's gonna make whiskey there. He already makes tequila at some company called Pura Vida Tequila. If you ever want any of it, it's pretty
So
good.
have you been sampling?
I got some for Christmas. Yes. All right. May I be excused?
Absolutely. Have a great day.
Have a good weekend. If you have a chance, Terry Truel posted a video of that courthouse burning down. It's pretty interesting to watch.
Okay.
On Facebook.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of pictures. I haven't seen the video.
It's pretty bad. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Have a good day.
Thanks.
All right.
Hi, Harold.
Bye.
All right.